Well, 2025 seems to be going by so fast, and I was reflecting and I came up with the 7 life lessons that I personally learned in 2025. And I thought, okay, I'm gonna record a video and show my followers here what the 7 life lessons are that I personally have learned in 2025. And if these are some of the life lessons that probably you might have learned as well in your journey to try and become the best version of yourself, to try and achieve the dreams, the goals, the ambitions, or whatever you're trying to achieve in your life, then let's get into it. So the first life lesson that I learned in 2025 is that to become a king, you must be willing to be a pawn, right? So most young people try and become kings. They try and feel like they've made something of their own in their life, when in the natural sense they haven't made anything of their own, right? So if you are going to get to the level of king, you have to first be a pawn. If you see how football players are, the youngest, right, or the least experienced in that football match, in that team, picks up the balls, he carries all the jerseys and everything that they use at the pitch, right? So that is the process that you have to go through if you are going to become a king. If you're working at a job right now, you are working whatever, developing your career, you have to be willing to be the guy that is being sent to run errands, to do those petty small activities within the organization. That's what's going to actually get you to the king level. You don't just wake up and become a king. You have to be willing to be a pawn, right? And the second life lesson I learned in 2025, let me just erase this right here. The second life lesson for 2025 is learn, right? So learn a high income skill, right? So if right now you're trying to become the best version of yourself, you're working hard, you're putting in the effort, you're putting in the energy, you're trying to make something of yourself, you have to learn a high income skill. Because trust me, whatever you want to do in your life, whatever your ambitions are, whatever your goals are, you are going to face challenges, you are going to face hurdles, more especially if you haven't learned a skill that is going to make you money. That is why you have to handle the money issue first, right? So I'm going to actually highlight some of the high income skills that you can learn. You can learn coding, you can learn skills in sales, you can learn skills in marketing, right? You can learn videography, right? Videography or editing whatsoever. So these are very, very high ticket skills, especially for 2025, knowing that technology is at its peak in 2025. Things are busy evolving, things are going deeper and deeper. So if you learn a skill in coding, in sales, marketing, videography, editing, copywriting, whatsoever, trust me, you are going to be further ahead than most of your friends and your mates, right? So that is the second life lesson that I actually learned in 2025. And the third life lesson for 2025 is that you need to have these 3 types of people, right? You need to have these 3 types of people in your life. So the first type of people that you need in your life are mentors and coaches, right? You need mentors and coaches. Then you're going to need partners, right? And you need mentees, right? So mentors and coaches, these people are actually a compass to your life, right? North, south, west, east. They are going to direct you, show you what you should be doing and shouldn't be doing. They're gonna show you the path, right? They're gonna help you. They're gonna actually cover your 10 years of sweat, 10 years of struggle into a year, right? Because these are people that have done what you're trying to do, and they are going to show you the way out, right? Then you need partners. These are people that are going to walk the path with you, people you have similar interests in, similar you are facing similar challenges, trying to achieve closely similar goals. You can partner up with these people and walk the journey together. And lastly, you're gonna need mentees, right? I guess you are not a selfish person who is gonna learn all of it from your mentors and coaches, have partners and not actually feed others that information, right? You're gonna need mentees, people you're gonna be guiding, so you can actually show them the way as well, right? So these are basically the three types of people that you need: mentors and coaches, partners, and mentees, right? So here is my fourth life lesson for 2025, right? So the fourth life lesson here is you have to believe it, right? Believe it, right? So whatever you're trying to achieve, whatever you're trying to accomplish in your life, you have to make it undeniable, right? It has to be undeniable within your mind that you can actually achieve that goal, hit those targets, reach those heights. Because whatever you don't believe in, you are never gonna put in efforts to actually make it a success. You are never ever going to give it your whole energy, you're never ever gonna give it your whole you, right? So where energy flows, right, results show, right? So whatever you don't believe, trust me, you are never ever going to put in your energy. You're trying to become the best at sales, you're trying to learn how to code and build an IT company, a coding empire, whatsoever. Whatever your vision, your ambitions, your dreams are, you have to believe it, and it has to feel so undeniable within your mind. It has to look so real. It has to look so achievable within yourself, and your goals have to inspire you to wake up early in the morning and achieve them, right? So that is actually my fourth life lesson for 2025. So let's dive into my fifth life lesson for 2025. So the fifth life lesson here is that you have to set action oriented goals, right? So what I see most people do wrong is they actually set result based goals, and what happens is that they don't know how to actually achieve these results, right? So remember, human beings don't have control over the types of results they are going to get, but what they certainly have control over are the actions, the reps they are supposed to put in order to get those results. So let me show you something right here. Let me show you something to prove my claim. So here is you right here who is trying to achieve whatever you're trying to achieve, right? So whatever you're trying to achieve is on the other side of the bridge, right? So these are your goals, right? Your wins, right? So this could be, maybe you're trying to buy a car, you're trying to get a house, you're trying to take your company to $10,000. Whatever you're trying to achieve, those are results, right? So remember that you don't have control over these results, but what you certainly have control over are the actions you need to take in order for you to actually get these results. So whatever you should be, if you're supposed to be focusing on one thing at this point in time, I would tell you, focus on the action, focus on the reps, focus on the input that is supposed to actually get you to your desired outcome, to the goals that you are trying to achieve, right? So this is actually my fifth life lesson, because most people they have very, very big ambitions, especially young people. You want to become a millionaire, you want to get rich, you want to get wealthy, you want to buy that car, you want to build that house, you want to retire your parents. You have all of these aspirations, goals, and ambitions in life. But what you don't understand is that you need to put together an action plan that is actually going to help you, achieve those goals. Let me give you another example right here. Let's say, for example, you are slim. This is you right here, and you want to become, like this, right? You want to be somebody that has a well-built body. This is a person, that has so much muscle, right? You've been to the gym. So this is you want to become this. So what is going to make you become this is not just you dreaming about, I want a healthy body, I want a strong body, I want a body full of muscles. You have to put together a plan, and the plan could be maybe, lift, 100 weights a day, right? Eat 1,000 calories, food with calories a day, right? And do 100 push-ups a day. So these actions that you actually take are what's going to make you this type of a person, and not just you dreaming and thinking about it every single day. Of course, dream about it, think about it, meditate about it, but most importantly, take action, right? So this is my 50th life lesson, for 2025. And my 60th life lesson for 2025 is that you need to have, right? You need to have things that challenge you, right? You need to have things that challenge you. If there is nothing that, you are doing right now that's challenging you, trust me, you are not growing, you are not developing. So let me share with you something that will challenge you here. Business will challenge you, right? If you're working with a good boss, a job will challenge you. If you have friends that are doing far more better and bigger things than you, they are actually going to challenge you. If physical events, right? If you set physical events, let's say you run a 3 hours marathon, this is going to challenge you. And these things that challenge you, they are actually going to push you and help you break that barrier that you actually are currently facing. And it is when you begin to break barriers that you begin to advance and improve in life. If you don't have things that challenge you, trust me, it's going to be very, very hard and heavy for you to actually get things done and for you to actually accomplish or achieve anything worthwhile. And my final and last life lesson for 2025 is that you have to place systems in your life, right? You have to place systems in your life. If you don't have systems in your life is going to look like a mess, right? So, do you have systems, for executing tasks, right? Your daily tasks. Do you have systems for staying healthy, right? Do you have systems for making friends, right? Do you have systems for actually connecting with thought leaders? Do you have systems, whenever you're trying to set something big and something, great and heavy for your life? Do you have systems that you actually follow for you to actually get to those goals? So if your life is not mapped out, if your life is not written down, trust me, it's going to be very, very hard for you to accomplish or achieve anything in this life, because you are going to have so much clutter in your life, right? You're going to have so much clutter in your life, and this clutter is going to actually bring forth confusion, and which will lead to you not doing anything and not accomplishing anything in life. So friends, these are the 7 life lessons that I actually learned in the first 6 months of 2025, and I thought, okay, great, why not share these life lessons with you? So if you want to learn more about what I do, or maybe you're trying to build your career, right? You're trying to build your career, try maybe get a job, get some remote work, some freelance work, maybe you're trying to set up a side hustle, right? And you don't know exactly how to actually put these things in place. I actually launched what I call the Launch Your Career program. And if you want to actually get into this program, I'm actually allowing enrollments right now. So you can contact this number +26097674792, and I'm actually gonna help you navigate through your life. With all of that said, this is your boy Mapreneur Closer. Until next time, peace out.